Shadow on the track. Let's get it. I'm a rock star type nigga, fucks bad bitches. See me in the drop cause I stay with them triggers. I'm a rock star type nigga, fucks bad bitches. See me in the drop cause I stay with them triggers. Bitches like my style, they say they like my flow. When A-Dog come around, these pussy niggas gotta go. Why you hating on me, fool? You should already know. Fuck that loyalty, I'm royalty, y'all niggas got exposed.
Alright everybody, welcome back. This is your boys here at M.A.S Media, ready to give you episode 4 to season 2. Now, we're going to spice things up with this episode. We're trying to dig deep into the history of whoopings. So if you know anything about me, you know that I am a huge proponent of whoopings. And then all shapes and sizes, whether they come with a belt, they come with a hand, they come by air, they come by sea. I want to make, when it comes to whoopings, you can Dr. Seuss it up as much as you can, as in my eyes. But I think that's something that is definitely necessary in our society. But I am always open to hearing other sides of the equation, because again, when we're getting older, and kids are on the horizon for both of us, and when we, as an eventual stepping stone in sort of our relationships and things of that nature that we cultivate as time goes on. So that conversation, before, I used to be sort of ironclad as far as I'm definitely gonna whoop my kids. I definitely have softened on that idea to a certain extent, and I think that's something that I wanted to kind of broach in this conversation today, to see kind of where we're at, because I mean, we all know that it's in this day and age, whoopings are way more taboo than they used to be. Mm-hmm. And now, I mean, if if they even see a little bruise on your child's arm or on his leg or where have you, that's it. DIFUS is getting called, and the schools are not hesitating to get your ass clear and taken away from your kids.
Yeah.
So first, I want to talk about the different types of whoopings that exist out there. And what are some of the ways that you've been whooped in your life?
Well, I mean, Jesus. This is hold on. I should have got a box of tissues for this one.
Yeah,
I'm about to bring up some stored away memories. God.
Okay.
All right, so I've been beat with brushes, combs, belts, thick belts, belts without buckles, the braided belts.
Ooh.
Switches. A switch, if you don't know what a switch is.
Yeah, let our viewers know what a switch is. Some of them might not be familiar with that term. Go get the switch.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely let the Europeans know what a switch is. So for all the European listeners,
I can.
Think about any kind of like bush or like small tree that has like the branches coming off of it, and they're kind of flexible to the point where if you snap it, it'll make a sound like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a switch. Ooh. That's a switch. And
I'm starting to tear up over here.
Yeah, you don't want no parts.
Ooh, I'm starting
that switch, man.
I'm starting to tear up.
Yeah, I remember I used to try to find like the smallest, the weakest goddamn part of that bush. I could come back with that shit. And know what?
My God.
10 out of 10 times, all I did was make them matter.
You stupid. Yeah, you're stupid.
You gotta shoot that shot though, right? You gotta shoot that shot.
Yeah, no, you gotta go for it. You gotta go for it, figure it out. Yo, honestly, but not to interject, but like when I used to think like, African Americans, they didn't really get beat. But then I watched I don't know if our viewers have ever seen this, but this movie, but Jackson Family American Dream.
Oh my God.
Woo, yo, that movie to this day, the actor that plays Michael Jackson's father, Joseph Jackson, I can't even look at him. I've never been able to look at him saying. Honestly, I don't even think Hollywood's been able to look at him the same because ever since that movie, he can't catch every role he's been in has been like I just see, I see two distinct scenes. It's the scene. The first scene was Michael. Go. He's like, I don't want it. Michael's like, oh, this is when the first scene was when Michael Jackson was a little one, and he wasn't really feeling up to dancing at a particular moment. And this is when they were in their house in Indiana, and he was acting up, acting defiant. And Joseph was like, Michael, if you don't get these stats right, you're gonna go outside, you're gonna give me a switch. and then when he went out, that sad glory moment when he fucking when he acted up that last time and he had to go outside and go catch that switch with the tears running down his eyes, and the whole family, because they had a big ass family, he had like 10 kids plus, and they all looking like a fucking concert, just looking at this little boy walking to his death. Oh my God, he goes outside in the daylight, mind you, there's neighbors walking around, walking their dogs and whatnot. He's going outside, snapping twigs off, crying, taking the leaves off the branch slowly and surely, just so he can take much time. He's like, "We better take that. You better not take all that damn time. You better come back in this house." He came back in that house. You just hear that whoopings, that whoosh sound that Aaron is referring to. All you see is his shadow and his body just going whoosh, whoosh. And then the second scene, oh Lord, and I think this is gonna be part of the thing that I think we talk about later on, as far as that thin line between discipline and abuse. The second scene, I will never forget it. Joseph Jackson was having frustrations with his kids, and as they got older, because they were all trying to move their separate ways. And there was the scene where he has he's walking around outside this is the top, at this point they've been successful, they're in a mansion in LA. He's walking around their pool, they got there's the fog from the pool coming up, because it's a cold, I guess it's like a brisk night in LA, and they have the fog coming up, and he's walking around and he sees a towel. He sees a towel sitting in the pool. He takes the towel, gets on one knee, starts rinsing the towel, looks around, and he starts calling out all the names. Michael, Tito, Jermaine. It must have been 3 a.m. This dude, Jermaine, come, Janet, hold it, get on there. You gonna get it. You gonna get it now. Walking through the house at 3 a.m. 3 a.m, looking to whoop tail. At this point, these kids were at least teenagers plus. You know what I'm saying? And he's looking to raise hell in that bitch. Randy. All of a sudden, the wife, Catherine, had to come out. Bless her soul. Bless her goddamn soul. Otherwise, these kids would have gotten whooped in their sleep. Whooped the brakes off in their dreams, thinking it's a sweet on fucking nightmare at this fucking real life. Yeah, oh my God, I'll never forget it. She's like, no, Joseph. No, Joseph. You will not touch my kids. And you know how Angela Bassett used to be extra. Joseph. No, Joseph. You will not touch my kids no more.
Making that
you will not touch my kids no more. You will not. It's enough. It's enough, Joseph. It's enough. Haven't you had enough? Haven't you had enough, Joseph?
The look he gave her. He was with her out too.
Yeah, he was looking past her. This guy was looking. All he saw was their rooms and the fucking the chaos that was about to commit. Oh my God, that scene had me on I don't even know. At first, I couldn't laugh, but as time went on, it's the funniest. It's just the funniest scene ever, because I've been there. I have been there. I've been there, done that, and that shit ain't right. Shit ain't right.
And that shit ain't right.
Shit ain't right, man.
That shit is. There ain't nothing right about it.
Oh my God, yeah. So you know what?
Yeah.
So I want to ask, what, with those things in mind, because these were, for me, that movie was was like 3 parts. I mean, that's 6 hours. That was a 6-hour movie. So
Oh my god.
yeah. So out of those 3 parts, I mean, those 2 parts, and the fact that those are some of the biggest ones outside of the cheating one, where she caught him cheating on the phone. Woo,
yeah,
Lord.
yeah.
Woo, those slaps. Oh my god.
Are we doing movie review? Or are we doing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry. Those slaps were crazy. I'm sorry.
We could probably do movie reviews, yo. If y'all want us to do movie reviews, let us know.
Yeah, honestly.
You know what I'm saying?
That might actually be. We could actually try that. Okay, but so then to finish this one, because I don't want to get too crazy off track. But yeah, so like that movie was 6 hours long, and the fact that those 2 sort of scenes stood out, so heavily in my mind, it kind of goes to show, what, where punishment, the levels can be, right, and what kind of effect. Because I mean, we saw how all these kids played out. I mean, they all ended up relatively being successful in their lives, and for the most part, all creating opportunities for themselves. I mean, I don't know, out of all of them, I mean, I think the only one that really had any real legal trouble outside of marital trouble, because I mean, when people get divorced and whatnot, was Michael Jackson. Even then, I mean, those charges that were brought up against him were pretty lackluster for the most part, even though they had their seriousness. So for the most part, these kids ended up being extremely successful and leading very productive lives in society. So So my question is what about whoopings, are effective? Are they even effective?
That is a great question, my co-host. And to be quite honest with you, it's hard to answer because
right. No, I can.
Yes, I do. You know what it is? This is where I'm gonna go. Now I know where I'm gonna go, because obviously you look around at the hood or any hood USA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
Like, these kids that are running the streets and causing havoc. A lot of them received whoopings when they were growing up. So one would think, well, why aren't they? Then obviously they don't work because they've been whipped. No. Not so quite super liberals over there.
Yeah.
Not so quite. I mean, not quite. Not quite so. Want to know why? Because majority of the time, those are single parent households. Now, for my piece of evidence number 1, the Jackson 5, or the Jackson family for that matter, Joe was very much involved in his kids' lives.
Always.
So will they have been who they were if Joe wasn't around and the mom was there and she was beating them? Not at all. Man, I'll put five stacks on that bet right now.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, no way. So yes, whippings are effective, I think, but obviously it has to be in the right the setting.
Okay.
It can't just be a woman. Because think about it. I know some of our women listeners might take this the wrong way, or might take it the right way and still get upset about it. But it is what it is. Yeah. If you have a single parent and she's a woman, right, and she's probably getting some kind of assistance more than likely. And shout out to the ones that aren't getting assistance. Whatever, it is what it is. But they're getting assistance, and then they're gonna beat their little boy, or even the girls. Girls get beat too, for whatever reason. He's acting up at school, whatever the case may be. But you know what? Also, most dads, like men, they don't just beat their kid over every little thing.
Right.
I'm saying some things are whooping offenses, and other things are, I gotta sit this motherfucker down and talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Some things straight. But when you have a woman that's already already more emotional than men are, trying to be that role, trying to overcompensate, yes, I'm pretty sure, you're going to get more whoopings than you may have deserved, because, it's just the fact of the matter, For instance, I grew up, I don't want to say, in a single parent household, because Bubba was around for as long as I could fucking remember, you know what I'm saying?
Bubba's your stepfather, right?
Yeah, Bubba's my stepfather, yep. Solomon, the the other co-host slash producer for the show, his father.
Right.
No, he was around like pretty much, you know what I'm saying, like since I can remember, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't remember a time when Bubba wasn't around. So
yeah, me neither.
But he's never been that type of, you know, he's first of all, he's not that type. He's not that type of guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not that type of father. He's very, you know, he took the submissive role, for lack of better terms, in the relationship with my mother. So, you know, yeah, he was there, but he wasn't really, you know what I'm saying? He was, you know, and then at that time when we were younger, Simon wasn't even born yet. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, and actually they weren't even married yet. So it was like, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna say? You know what I'm saying? We're not even his damn kids.
Right, of course.
You know what I'm saying? He might speak up and he might get beat. You know what I'm saying?
I can't. Yeah,
so you know, it's different, you know, because obviously, you know, I feel like I got more beatings than we probably should have. Like looking back, you know, it's like, yeah, I think I wouldn't beat my kid over that. I mean, my mom beat us over some, like, yo, let me. Can I tell a story now, or we gotta wait to tell a story?
No, man, please, no, please. I want to know the pain. Right. I want to know your pain.
All right, everybody, listen to this, man. The year was like 1996, maybe 97. Yeah. Still living in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, on the border of Brownsville, Marion. My mom had won. She bought a soda from the corner store, because you know, in the city, there's corner stores damn near every corner, or every other corner at least. And so she went to the store. She bought a soda. I think it was like a Pepsi or whatever. It's not really important. Now this is back when it was huge. Like when you would twist the cap, you read the cap and like you win prizes.
Right.
Like I don't see that often anymore. I'm not sure if it's still going on, but like it was big back then in the 90s. And then my mom won like a free soda or something like that.
Okay.
So then she went to go, you know, get it from the corner store, and then they didn't want to honor it for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know. When all this was going down, we didn't fucking know. We were just little kids playing and shit, whatever. And then one day she came home, she was like, "Yeah, I can't go to that corner store." Now, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, like we kids, like yeah, there's corner stores at every other corner for the most part, but like that one's, we don't have to cross the street.
Right.
We don't have to do nothing. I wasn't even allowed to cross the street. You know what I'm saying, at that time.
Damn.
So now she just put a whole like embargo, you know what I'm saying, on my corner store. And so she told me and Leon's my older brother, she was like, yeah, you know, yeah, I don't want y'all going to that corner store because they didn't want to honor my thing, yada yada. She all upset, pissed off, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe that. It's fucked up, whatever. So then a couple days later, it was summertime. A couple days later, we had some money. It was nighttime. It had just gotten dark, so it was probably like 9 o'clock, something like that. And we, you know, just playing with the kids on the block, or, you know, running around, riding bikes, whatever. My mom calls us out literally from the third floor window. I'll never forget it. That's how she would call it. She would stick out the window and call, and she was like, she called us, and Leon went up, and then she gave him the money and was like, I want you to get some flavor of Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Right. Then we were like, all right. So we went to go get it. And then we went to 2 different corner stores. You know what I'm saying? And I was crossing streets I wasn't supposed to be crossing at nighttime. I remember I was mad excited. I was like, oh shit, I'm in the street.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
Thankfully, I didn't get hit. I'll never forget it. Thankfully, I didn't get hit. But we went to 2 of them. Neither one of them had the flavor she wanted. So then we went to the corner store. You know, because that was like the only option. We were kids. Like we weren't about to go on a fucking trek. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we went to the corner store. They had it. So then we were happy. Yo, we came back home. Like, yo, we got it for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, yo, we mission accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So we get upstairs to give it to her, and yo, it was like she set us up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Like she knew. She must have knew that none of the other corners, and she was just testing us. I swear to you. Because when we came back, she was already ready for that, to give us that ass whooping for going to that corner store that she told us to go to. Yo, I'll never forget that, bro. That shit was like, what the fuck? Now that is an ass whooping that I think that, you know, probably didn't deserve.
Right.
You know, I remember I went from being happy, like, oh yeah, you know, we did it, you know what I'm saying, to like, oh my God. Oh my, you
Yeah.
know, we told our friends we'd be right back out. You know what I'm saying? Remember that those days?
Oh,
Yo, so your friend, we right back,
he's like,
and then they ring the doorbell waiting for you.
oh nah.
You crying in the room because you just got your ass beat. Your mom yelling out the window, oh, they in for the night.
Yeah.
They in. Oh, shit.
Like, oh no, they ain't come back outside. They had to finish their homework. He's like, what? It's summer though. It's summertime. Like there's no school. Oh yeah, they had some summer schooling. You know, they didn't do good at school. They ain't had shit going on. Oh hell no, man. Yo, honestly, when you bring that story, you know, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, the PTSD that runs through my mind as a result of that story. No, I think your point about and I hate to section it off between men and women as far as the differences, but I think it kind of resonates with me because in my house, my dad only put his hands on me, I think, one time, in the time that in the time that he raised us, and obviously my mom was the more of the whooper, if that's even an adjective or a verb or what have you. But she was the one that was more responsible for dishing out, the punishment. My dad was the sort of like the Morgan Freeman,
Morgan.
Deathly Hollows, voice from above, that just like when he talked and screamed, it was like your whole soul that just like shattered among you. Like it was to the point where I was definitely afraid of my dad for years. Like for years, Lord, every time I was around my dad, I'm doing the Harlem Shake. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where the scratching came from. It's just I couldn't even, anytime he called me, Michael, Mike, come upstairs. Who, boy? My knees started getting weak. I almost fell down the stairs a couple times coming up them there. Lord have mercy. So I would come to his damn desk, and it would be the backdrop, and he'd just be like, Michael, do you know why I called you upstairs? And I'm just like, and I'll be stuttering like a bitch, just, uh, 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 no. Why do you keep scratching? Why are you scratching yourself? Stop scratching yourself. And I'm sitting over like, no, yeah, sorry. I don't. Hey, shut up. Why did I call you upstairs? I don't know. Do you see those dishes? Do you see those dishes? You guys you eat your Pop Tart, your Frosted Flakes, and then you leave your dishes in my sink. If you don't go wash those stupid dishes, so that's one. That's definitely one way of handling it, right? And he never had to put his hand. I mean, the only time he put his hand on me, and I think this one was one I was well deserving of. Was where when I left my sisters outside, and so I could go play soccer with some Mexicans. Now, for my viewers who are Latino, I don't know if they're actually Mexican, but I inferred at the time, and I told my dad that they're Mexican. So I'm gonna stick with that. Honestly, now looking back on it now, they probably were nowhere near Mexican because I really don't know a lot of Mexican people in our town. Honestly, to speak of it, and but either who I digress. So so I was sued, because my dad is a huge soccer guy. He played like for a semi-pro team or like a semi-team for his company that he worked in Nigeria. So when he came here, soccer was, that was our sport. That was my first sport, and so I grew up for like 9 years. I'm sorry, I want to say like 4 or 5 years, at the age of 4, starting at the age of 4, playing soccer. So there came a point, I think it was, I want to say like, shit, I was maybe like 8 or 9. I was a big kid for my age. And I was kicking the ball around with my sisters in front of our apartment complex. And if Aaron remembers, like we used to have that strip of land in between the buildings. But where my apartment was, and there was another apartment across the walkway. There was a strip of grass in between. So we used to kick ball around. Randomly, this Latino guy comes up and is like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey, man," he's like, "You want to come play soccer with us? We need one more." And me, being me, not really thinking about the consequences. Me potentially getting swept up, taken away for life. I just, I said, yeah, sure, okay, you know, because I was soothed. I was like, damn, these grown men want me to. They don't. How the hell do they think I am? Like, for God's sake, like Jesus. Not unbeknownst to me, I had left my two sisters sitting outside by themselves in the evening. Yeah. So my hey, I got back home. Mind you, I was killing it. I was I look like I look like Pele out there. I was going crazy. You know, scoring left and right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to suit myself up right now. I was going crazy. And I get back home, I'm just washing my hands because I got dirty, and I hear my dad come in the house, and I'm souped. Oh, Aaron, boy, I tell you, man, I was ready. I was like, I'm about to show off. I'm about to tell my dad I was killing it with these grown guys. I was going crazy. Yo, I will never forget this in my dad used to wear this trench coat with a cowboy hat with a fedora, like one of those big brown those big sort of cowboy hats that people wear now. Not really a cowboy, but one of those, those big hats that people wear now, like Jason Derulo and all of them wear. So, and he was wearing one of those, comes in the house, turns the corner, and I'm coming out the bathroom. I'm like, hey, dad, I was playing soccer, smack. When I tell you that this smack, I was a big boy. I was maybe like 5 foot, maybe 160 pounds, 65 pounds. When I tell you this smack took me off my feet, took me to the point where I had fell face first into the ground. I looked up at my dad, and all I could see was this dark figure, because the light, he was covered in light bulb, because that's how far on the floor I was from the smack he delivered me from all his might. I look up, this man points at me with the Dare commercial dog in the background, with that title point. If you ever leave your sisters outside at night, again, I will kill you here before anybody can find you. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I'm like, huh? I'm holding my cheek like a little bitch, just holding my afflicted cheek. I'm just like, what happened here? Like, how did I get a smack? Like, I was just playing soccer. I was right across the street. Like, oh my God, like this. So me again, like, I think there are warranted whoopings. And then there are whoopings that you're talking about, like where it's like, yo, like, damn. Like, I remember my mom used to whoop my little sister over like 25 cents. You know what I'm saying? And she used to make it all about principle. She used to be like, oh, you can tell she tried to make it about principle. But I don't know. I feel like maybe there was some like underlying, as you mentioned. I think there's might have been some like underlying things that go into it, into that whooping. And it was. I mean, Lord. I mean, like when you're beating your child senselessly in the middle of ShopRite, at 4 in the afternoon, like it really, your daughter's smacking into the lettuce aisle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't believe my eyes. Like, and don't get me wrong, my little sister was annoying. She was an annoying little girl. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't stand this little hoe when we were growing up. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, like, see your mom, those little 25-cent machines. I mean, this is gonna be, guys, just prepare, This is gonna be a lot of stories today. But I mean, there was, there's those little 25-cent machines where you can get the candy, you put 25 cents in there. So my mom, it goes to my mom. She's like, mom, I wanna get one of those little candies for 25 cents. My mom's like, Kalechi, no, guys, my parents are strictly. I mean, if you haven't been watching the podcast, my parents are Nigerian. Is anything straight off the boat? So forgive me for my accents, but Kalechi, I don't have 25 cents for you, so you're not going to get it today. My little sister used to do this annoying ass thing where anytime she got the word no, tears, just straight up, and that's why she like acting. She just straight up went into tears. I just want to get this 25 cent can. And if you know my mom, if there's nothing she hates more, is being embarrassed in public. I tell you, my mom's eyes widened with the seeing of a 1,000 devils. This woman was, Kelechi, are you going to embarrass me here in front of all these people? You're going to push. You're going to hear my sister. I'm sitting there. Me and my sisters are all just looking on, like this is really happening. Like she's really getting the life taken. Like, I just see her HP. If he was a Pokemon, I would see her HP just slowly coming down to zero until she finally was laid flat on the floor. After my mom had delivered the final attack. Like, this junk was crazy. I'm like, And then you know what's crazier? We get back in the car, and it was like a movie. Like it's like there was a little bit of silence, and I'm in the front seat. I'm sorry, I'm in the front seat, and my sister is in the back seat of the van at the time that we had. My mom was like, "You think you're gonna embarrass me some more? You think you're gonna embarrass me some more?" She starts whooping her, and then it was like a movie because my seat just kept moving forward, like just kept bumping up and forward because my mom just kept backing into my seat from whooping her, so my seat just kept popping up forward. And I'm just, and I'm like, yo, this is OD. Like, I'm about to lose my mom today. Like, over 25 cents, man. Like, come on, yo. Like, this can't be life, yo. And that happened on multiple occasions where my mom would beat us in public, you know, for all the world to see our shame. And I'm looking on, like, who deserves this? Like, what could we have possibly done in life to get whooped in front of Sally and Jesse in ShopRite or in Macy's or in Pizza Hut? You know, Jesus Christ, like this shit don't add up. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, because you know, anytime you ask for something, you try to, you know, oh hey, can I get it? And then he's just like, oh man, and like I remember I got whooped just for saying like, you know, I got whooped just for saying, oh, this is the best food I've had. Nope. Nope. Hey, so I don't cook. So I don't cook at home. So I don't cook at, and I'm getting beaten because remember this at this time. This is when Pizza had the buffet. Sorry, this is before Pizza had the buffet. So you would sit down and you know you'd be able to eat as a family. And I'm eating this pizza, you know, and this is early in my life. You know, I didn't, you know, with the Nigeria, I'm eating it. This is good. This is when Pizza Hut was rocking, like on, you know, like shit.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, and so I'm eating. I'm like, this is the best food ever. This is best. Mom, turn her neck. Michael, hey, chin on sub. So you're going to tell me I don't cook? So you don't eat when we go home? You're going to embarrass me here? You're going to asking all these questions. Asking all these questions I can't answer. I'm like, yo, like, what? Are you gonna give me some? At one point, if I was a smart ass, you know, this is what I mean. The smart ass in me, you know, happened later on in life. But I mean, Lord, if I was smart, I would be like, damn, you gonna let me finish? Like, can I answer? Can I answer the question? All these questions, I can't even answer the question. I think that's what makes me cry even more because it's like I want to answer, but I can't. Like, oh, let me answer. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Please, I just. Oh God.
All these questions. Let me answer.
Excuse me. Okay. All right, but no, I think with all this being said, I don't know. I guess to bring it in is what I don't know. I think, and as I mentioned to start off the podcast, I think I've gotten to a point in life where it's like seeing that, and also your point about that sort of that line between discipline and abuse. You know, I think it is a really thin line because the last thing I want is for my kids to get the brunt of my stress in life and all the things I'm going through with my job and trying to figure out, you know, where my trajectory is going and like the stresses of trying to provide and all that. The last thing I want is for those whoopings to be conveyed in that manner as opposed to being about the principle, being about what it's supposed to be about. And so I don't know. So I think when I look at it, I'm definitely for, but I can understand why people would have hesitations when it comes to whooping their kids because it can get real, you know, that line can get really blurred very quickly.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't have any children, but I could only imagine. You know, because think about it. If you've been in a fight, you know, like that could go to murder.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could go to murder. You know, especially like, you know, if no one stops you, depending on how severely you wanted to beat the hell out of the person you're beating up. You know, and people have died like that. So yeah, there's definitely a thin line between it because, you know, how much is too much, you know, or like when and where and why and how. Like I've been beat in public a few times, but one in particular I can remember, you know, I think it was warranted, and not only do I think it was warranted, I think the Caucasian witnesses think it was warranted because they didn't call the cops. You know, they did not call the cops. I was in like a Toys R Us somewhere. I forget where exactly, but it was in Toys R Us, and I don't know how I got separated.
Oh no.
and they were calling my name on a loudspeaker. But when you don't come on, you ain't listening to the loudspeaker. You're not
right.
listening to
You're right.
shit.
You in heaven.
So then somehow they had found me and brought me back to my mom at the register. And then she was like, "I was calling you," and I was like, "No, I was over there." And then she literally beat me right there, right there at the line in Toys R Us, man, right there.
Woo!
And all the Caucasians, the so-called Caucasians, they just watched, in horror. And I was like, wow.
Wait, was this during holiday season? Because if it was during holiday, that means it was a packed house in that bitch. Because that's when Toys R Us was at its peak.
Yeah, no, it was during Christmas season. We were getting gifts for everyone else besides us. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I was fucking pissed off, because I didn't get shit. Excuse my language. I couldn't get a damn thing. And I'm pretty sure I was playing like a video game, like when they first started with like the demos in the aisle. I was doing one of those. And then when like I said, when I finally made it back, she's like, "Oh, you didn't hear us calling you?" I'm like, "No, I didn't hear you calling me." That's what I'm thinking. Like, no, if I would have heard, I would have came. You know what I'm saying? And again, if I was quick with it, like I am today, then I would have said that. But that probably wouldn't have fared any better for me, because she probably would have slapped those words right back into my mouth as they were coming out of my mouth. They would have been immediately slapped right down my fucking throat.
Yo. Oh shit! So you got like an NBA Finals type crowd in your fucking to witness your fucking demise.
Are you kidding me, bro? Yo, it was like they were all there because they were literally looking for a missing child. So like when the person found me and brought me back to the front, there was mad people around. Like the team members were there, and then the manager was there. And so this is Shana, yeah. She's looking at me like with a crazy eye. At first she was looking like like good, like kind of concerned, and I was like, it's all good, it's all good. And then she was like, it just like went right after that feeling to like, I'm gonna whoop your ass right here, right now. And then she did it, man. Woo. She did that shit right there, and no one said a fucking word. No one said a word, no nothing. And then we paid for her shit and we left. And then that was that. That was.
But sad. What's crazy? Nobody ever says a damn thing. Like I have never. I mean, I think maybe when it's Caucasian on Caucasian, and damn sure they're not saying nothing when it's when it's our melanated people. They're definitely just looking like, yeah, he deserved or she deserved all that's coming to him or her. It's time. But I can't remember anybody ever coming forward and being like, "Hey, ma'am, hey, I think the point has been made. I think because they would have got it too. Honestly, so I think and that vigor, that sort of what's that word? That sort of it's like that understanding and knowing that like this you need this, like you need this more than I need to give it to you, and it's just that sort of that confirmation in their minds is so and conviction, there it is, that conviction that they have to give you and unleash that sort of punishment onto your body. I mean, the fact that I was able to go to, I mean, I'm my skin tone, I don't know, I think I'm like a good in-betweener for the most part, as far as between dark and too dark, I guess if you would say. And I guess I'm sure bruises. I've had bruises before, so I just, the fact that I've never had bruises, and I've worn shorts, I've worn t-shirts, I've worn all that. I feel like it's almost majestic in how these women give these whoopings, because it's like how is there no, like nowadays, these people can't do it right. I mean, these women are beating their kids. They got bruises all over their kids, all over their arms, their legs. What kind of dumb shit is that? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to hit them in the money spots. The money spots that's not going to stay. And the money spots for our viewers, you either got to get the back, because sometimes when they be moving too much, you got to, that sometimes you don't get the back. I mean, you don't get the butt, you just get the back. but the butt has the the most flesh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you pick up the one hand, you hold that one hand up, and then that way you have the whole backside exposed, and that's when they go to town. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that'd be the worst. It's like a merry-go-round of ass whooping.
That's right.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Hew! And that's how your body moves, like hew, hew, hew.
Yeah. You're running.
Yeah,
you can't escape.
It's like, like I can't remember a time, and honestly, like I was very athletic for my age. The fact that I was able to, I mean, I know it's in the confines of your own home, but I mean, there was a ton of times where, I think it was a little, I guess my last story on this would be more so like, damn, like I'm looking back on it, it's, was I abused? I don't, like there was a time where my little sister, again, and a lot of my stories are going to be with my little sister, my littlest sister, I should say, because I have 3 sisters, 2 younger, 1 older. But my youngest one, oh my God, this little hoe, once again, just I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, enjoying my Saturday. Saturday morning cartoons. I'm taking time out of my long week of school, and I'm watching Saturday morning cartoons. You know how religious those fucking Saturday mornings were. Pokemon, Digimon, like Digimon, Digital Monsters, Digimon. Yu-Gi-Oh! It's time to all that, all those all the D's in the do in the homo. When my bad. So she used to do this weird shit where like I'd be sitting on the couch, she would be sitting on the top of the couch, like laid out on the top of the couch. I'm like, well, get off, like get off, like what the fuck are you doing? Like just move. Like, why do you have to just bother my whole soul? So one day, and I'm stronger at this point. I just boofed her off the couch. Now, I'm thinking about how this would end. Right, my mom. Right, we were in a 1-bedroom apartment at the time in Avenel. She's it's the winter time, snowing, giving y'all the backdrop. Snowing outside. It's a pure winter. I got my hot chocolate. I'm doing it all. This is. My mom's in the other room, and it's not too far away, so we can actually hear her conversations and whatnot. Her door's open, so it's one of those things, Aaron. I'll tell you, when you can actually hear the makings of your whooping. So she's crying, right? And the reason why I say that's because
you already know.
She's crying. You see how I'm going with this? She's crying. She's crying, doing all. I'm like, look, hey. I'm like, oh, chill, hey, come on now. You know what you did. You know what you did. You know the part you played in this. Like, don't do this. Don't do this. I was like, Clutchy, please don't do this. Don't do. And she looked at me. Looked at the floor. Looked at the couch. Oh, she looked right. She was like, I'm telling mom. Runs off. I'm like, no. Oh my God. Jesus. I can't. I need to. I want to kill this bitch. I gotta kill her in the night. I started thinking about all the ways I could smother her in her sleep. Oh my God, Lord! I couldn't wait. I was like, ooh, if I make it through today, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill this bitch. Oh my God, she goes in the freaking room. Look at it, my mom's on the phone. He's like, yeah, I'm jealous. Wait, hold on. What? And I'm hearing all of this. What? What's going on? Hey, Clutchy, what is this? Why are you coming in? What he did? What he did? What? Hey, Michael, you did. Hey, Michael, you pushed the sister off the couch. Hey, Michael, yo, when I tell you this woman beelined out of her room with the water bottle. I don't know where the water bottle came from. Yo, when I tell you it was full, like why? Why do you have a full water? None of us drink water in this house. Yo, she came out with a full water, chucks it at my head. Yo, I had to, but this time Matrix already come out. So I had to do the full on like Matrix shuffle to miss it. To miss this water bottle before it goes beelining into the TV, smacks the TV. I'm running for my life. Oh my! I had a guinea tea. Shouldn't say guinea, but I had a wife beater. Shouldn't say wife beater. I had a. Lord have mercy. I had one of those tees on, and I had shorts on. And I mean, I'm in my house. I mean, I don't wear. I'm wearing socks. There's nothing in my house, so I'm barefoot. Yo, she fucking beats me out of the house. I'm walking in the snow, barefoot in the snow. I gotta walk, Aaron. If you remember how my apartment complex, so I had to walk across the place. I had to walk across and sit on the other side and wait for her to tell me to open the screen door just so she could let me back in. And I'm sitting there contemplating life, like, what? Why? How did this? And at that moment, right? And I swear, I tell you, my life is like a fucking movie. At that moment, as I'm contemplating all the things that happened to me in a matter of 30 minutes, guess who shows up with the trench coat and the cowboy hat? My father. My father walks up, parks in the back. I start seeing a tall figure. I'm like, oh no. Oh my God. I'm out here with the fucking wife beater on and goddamn shorts in the snow. Like, what? Oh, oh. This ninja has the audacity to ask me, what are you doing outside? My stutter now. Mom, and I wasn't gonna tell him I pushed my sister off the couch. What the fuck? Like, hell no. Like, no. So I was just like, mom said, come outside. This ninja has to look at me and look at the house and start walking back in the house. I was like, you know what? You ain't shit, ninja. You ain't shit. You ain't shit for this, man. I'm sitting there just like, I'm sick of this shit, man. I'm sick of this house. I could just run away, but I ain't got no shoes. I ain't got no shoes. I ain't got no jacket. It's snowing outside. I'm cold. I can't feel my toes. Why am I outside with no suit, no socks, no shoes? Like, all these questions were running through my mind. And as I say that, guess who comes to the sliding door to let me back in? My little sister, smiling and laughing to basically rub it in my face. Mom said you can come back inside now. Oh, word, bitch. Wow. If I could curse at that moment, the curse I would have for this little heathen, this little chest. Oh, I couldn't believe the little jubilee in her face that she just, you can come back inside now. Oh, you dirty bitch. Like, so when I think about it, it's like, did I really just be like in the snow though, with no socks, no shoes? Damn, like, could I get my jacket at least? Whoop me with my jacket on, God damn. Like, it doesn't make no damn sense. But I mean, say this all to say, I mean, I guess looking back, I mean, I think that there's a time and place for whoopings. I think that they're in good taste. I think, as you mentioned, like, because that line, as we've talked, can be blurred very quickly. And I think it's like you have to, and this is something I'm going to have to, obviously keep in mind for myself when I have my own kids, knock on wood, is that you have to be extremely diligent about what this whipping is about, right? Like, and it has to be quick, right? Because you don't want to miss that time where it's like, now you don't want to come back 2 days later and give a whooping for something that happened 2 days, because now you've lost that momentum, that whooping momentum, because there's a fine window where that whooping needs to take place. So that sort of analysis needs to take place very quickly to say, you know what, is this worth, creating stories for this child, and creating lifetime memories for this kid. And I think that, honestly, I think when I look at it, I think the approach my dad took, I love that approach, because when I look back on it, Aaron, you saw how I grew up. Like, we were the best of friends, since middle school, and you never saw me outside after 2:30. After 2:30, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was, and if you did, it's because you came back by my house to shoot at that little basketball hoop I had, that little mini hoop. I mean, that whatever, I don't know, it was like 8 feet maybe, 8-foot hoop at my, in front of my house. Like, that was the only way. Like, you would have thought I was in jail. You would have thought I was being punished all year long. Like, I didn't see nobody. Like, Fernando used to have house parties. I didn't even know Fernando lived down the street from me. Like, I did not know none of this. Like, this is crazy. Like, that's how I grew up. Like, I couldn't go nowhere. And if I did go somewhere, I had to, when we had to ride our bikes, every time we rode our bike, we had to ride around the apartment complex, the apartment building that we lived in, and every time we rode by um, uh, our actual apartment number, we had to scream, Mom, we're going, Mom, Mom." So you would just you would randomly hear every like 5 or 10 minutes, just Mom, Mom, it's us. Mom, it's us. Mom is like that's how I grew up. Like there was no like I didn't know what outside was until I got to like when did I start able to like sophomore year? Was I was able to come out to Casino or
Yeah,
something like that? Like yeah, and
yeah,
that
like
was because
sophomore year.
the only way I was able to come out, and I can say this now, bless my mom, Jesus, she may whip me now, but she does listen to this. I don't know if she listens to the podcast. That's neither here nor there. But I hope she doesn't. But yeah, so I used to just tell her like I got basketball practice. I mean, who do you know that goes to basketball practice, come back home at 1 o'clock in the morning? Like I took advantage. I took advantage. I took advantage of the fact that my mom and dad were off the boat. So they just took everything I said for granted. I mean, they were like, "Oh, okay." Like I'm coming home with I had no practice clothes on, no nothing, and they're looking at me like, "Oh, okay." I was just like, "Yo," I was like, "Yeah, yeah." We had film after, yeah. So we just got changed. We got. Yeah, I was like, "Okay, that's good." How was it? Was practice hard? Did you eat? I'm like, "Yeah, I ate. I ate a long time ago when we went out all over the place." Yeah. Yeah, when I was gallivanting all around town. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. But if I didn't use that lie, Aaron, you would have still never. You wouldn't have saw me. You wouldn't. You wouldn't have saw me. You wouldn't have saw
I
me.
got practice.
Oh my god, man! Thank God for sports. Thank God for
You
sports, man.
stupid, yeah.
Shit, crazy.
Yeah,
Jesus, yeah. Jesus, man.
Second that.
But yeah, so I mean, I think I guess moral of the story is that guys, if you're gonna beat your kids, beat them with a purpose, and beat them fast, and beat them succinctly, you know, um, and don't let the see you. I
Yeah,
mean, sorry, don't let the
definitely.
Caucasians see you, uh, in this day and age, because that the license, the
Oh,
license plates get
be
taken
over.
down very quickly, and there's a lot of Karens out there that are looking to enact justice upon everything, being everything that seems improper in this day and age. So that's my moral story.
Yeah, facts. Man. Yeah, no, I echo that. Overall, I am for whoopings. I do believe I'm gonna, whoop my children.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed to have any. Definitely gonna be giving them those whoopings. But again, like there's things that occur that deserve whoopings, and
Yep.
there's things that occur that don't. So obviously, I'm going, you know, use my best judgment when, when going when going about that, and and again, me being in my child's life, obviously that's definitely
Right.
the intention. Um, Regardless of what happens, whether if I'm the single parent, what the kids like I'm going to be there. So, and I'm not trying to wish
No,
any
of
bad
course.
juju on my marriage at all. I'm just
Just
saying,
being realistic.
keeping it straight 100. Yeah. So, nah. So, yeah. With that, I do think that my whippings won't,
Right.
just be in vain. As we see a lot of the people in the inner cities
God.
today.
Okay. So yeah, guys, let us know. Like, what do you guys think about whoopings? I mean, do you think they're still merited in this day and age? I mean, give us your feedback and let us know if you still whoop your kids if you have them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, or let us know if you've been
yeah,
whipped.
let
Some
us
of
know
y'all probably
your
haven't
best
even been
whooping
whipped.
stories. I mean, I think that's something we'll put on the when we release this episode. We'll send a little survey out. I want to hear some of your whooping stories, guys. I want to see what kind of abuse you guys have had. Jesus, yo, Lord have mercy.
Abuse. Yeah, and let us know if you want us to do
Ooh,
like the
yeah.
movie reviews or whatever.
And how we should go about
That'd
that
be
too,
cool
because I mean,
too.
I know a lot of movies now are sort of been delayed and whatnot because of Corona, and so it's gonna. I think it would be a little harder to do newer movies. So if there's like a new Netflix movie or something like that, like for instance, that movie Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves, where the two girls come in his house, or he like had there like sitting in the rain and come in and they end up going through like
Yeah.
sorry,
Mike.
yeah, I have a call.
Something. Oh, there you go. Oh, I don't know
But
what happened.
yeah, so I mean, if they come to a point where they're like, oh, um, sorry, yeah, they come to his house and then just a whole bunch of craziness ensues. It's been something that's on social media. So like, if there's a movie out there that you guys want us to react to, please don't.
I'm about to go watch it right now.
No, it's
Like, if
actually
you think it's
not.
good, I'm gonna watch it right
I
now.
don't say it's not good, but it's like the situation was the perplexing one. It's like, would you fold? That's like the survey that's been going around on social media. It's like the two girls, like it's a picture of the two girls in like in the rain, soaking wet, and it's like, you know, would you? It's like, if these two showed up, would your man fold? And so if anything we could do it based upon that. But the movie itself is not
Nah,
it's not one of his shining achievements, to say the least.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Well,
So I mean, if anything,
all
I'm sure
well
we can
then,
figure out another movie if that's something you guys are into. I think reviews is something we definitely have been speaking about, wanting to get into. So so we'll definitely look at that. I think we could definitely do something like that because there's a ton of shit out there. So I'd definitely be interested in doing that. But all right, guys. So thank you guys for being with us for episode 4 of season 2. This is your boy Mike signing out.
Are you sure about that?